Amateur Tournament. I'm Pyronius, and I am joined here tonight with Bouncy Bear.
Hello.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we will be broadcasting the first round of our community tournament, and it will be OPGO Purple versus Soundscape Pulse. And it should be a very exciting game. Those of you who have been following the scene here will be familiar with OPGO, as we've had them competing in previous seasons. They've always been a strong contender. Soundscape Pulse, I believe this is their first opening into us here. This would be very interesting to see how they shake up against the veterans of OPGO, and should give us an idea of the sort of competition we're expecting to see in the season. Do you have any thoughts on this one, Bouncy?
I mean, not really, but I'll put in my little thoughts where they count. OPGO Purple are a very, very strong team, just in the general Overwatch scene. Soundscape Pulse, I believe, a relatively new team, although I could be wrong. We should see some pretty interesting matchups. Some players I've definitely personally heard of, and others that I've never heard of before.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. So we will be starting off the first map very shortly. We'll be heading into Numbani. So we'll be starting with a hybrid off the gate. And this is definitely going to be a very interesting thing to see here, because Numbani always throws out curveballs. The first point of Numbani is just such a notoriously difficult point to attack that we often see some very strange compositions on both the offense and defense here.
Definitely, as we always do. For most hybrid maps, it seems to be a real tendency with hybrid maps that meta gets thrown out the window, as we see.
Yeah, certainly things usually start to look a bit more normal later on, but this first point here at Numbani A definitely sees some very unusual compositions. So the teams will be heading out of the spawns very shortly, and so far, let's have a look here. Oh no, we are, yep, so we're just heading out now. It looks like we've got OPGO Purple on the defense, and it looks like they will be running a variant of the dive comp. They will be running Soldier and Ana here, which isn't uncommon on this Numbani A defense. So obviously looking to play the long angles available here. And they've got the Genji and dive tanks to engage on opportunities, as well as being able to peel into that back corner where we can expect the Soldier Ana to be setting up. And so far it looks like we may be seeing Soundscape running a dive comp of their own with the long-range Widow, but of course attacking teams can often change, but wouldn't be surprised if that's what they leave spawn on. We're just waiting for the last few seconds to count down here. And yeah, it does look like there's no changes coming through, so we will be seeing that Widow-based dive comp out of Soundscape Pulse as well.
Definitely. The Soundscape Pulse here, they're going to attempt to go through the middle to attempt to use that Widowmaker as their advantage. Leverage here against the team. Initiating to fight by the Divas there as they come in. The Winston's going to come jump on, and the team's going to go straight onto Fred here. It's the Winston here. It's going to be able to try and take him out. The Diva hops on, and as two members of Soundscape Pulse go down with Lynx following them very shortly, that's going to have them to back to spawn as the remaining stragglers of Soundscape Pulse are cleaned up.
Yeah, so a very swift, very crisp defense there from OPGO Purple. Very effective counter dive that just quickly cuts off that offense from Soundscape, and we'll see. That's going to set them up quite nicely in terms of ultimate economy as well, so that's going to make it hard.
As Soundscape Pulse here try to take the point here, they're going to dive. A Winston dive alone there will take him straight out of the game. That'll take this to 5v6 instantly here. They poor miscommunication here. It's going to take Sweaty Bacon out of his Diva mech, and the Zenyatta is going to go down here with the rest of the team following suit as a repeat again. Although Diva does get Diva out of her mech.
Yeah, so a bit of a demag there, but it's going to be a jumping off the map, get the quick reset, get the quick remake. She should be able to make it back by the next fight because the defender spawn is surprisingly close to this point for a hybrid map. And another clean fight win without having to use any ultimates means that OPGO looking very strong to hold this, and we've seen some composition changes out of Soundscape. They're moving over to a Brawl comp, see if they can muscle their way through.
Two ults go down. Genji does take out the Lynx and Aura along with the Mercy there, which would clean up most of their game. And just the Genji ult there cleaned up massively.
Yeah, very nicely executed Nano Blade there, the Nano Boost on the Genji Blade, and just getting huge amounts of damage through there, quickly cleaning up half of Soundscape, and then just getting the dash resets on the rest of it as well to quickly win that fight. So this is looking very good for OPGO Purple, and Soundscape, I mean, they've still got time to build up some ultimates, but they're not getting a lot of progress here so far, and the ult rotation is pretty good.
Mech, though, did come out earlier in that fight here, which is going to allow Soundscape to back up here. They're going to be able to fire. They're going to attempt to take this high ground control as Tactical Visor and Zenyatta Transcendence, my apologies, goes live, neutralizing the Tactical Visor there. A few falling on the point here as D.Va does pick up the first kill against the Reinhardt, where the Genji then takes out the Zenyatta from the backlines there, and healers trade off there as Arnold picks off Mercy, which will allow OPG Purple to clean up. Soundscape Pulse ready for their last attack.
Yeah, so that was a bit unfortunate because earlier on the Reinhardt dropped onto the point there, and the rest of the team didn't commit down to help him out. So he just sort of ended up stuck on the point there, taking a lot of fire, and they just, by the time they were rotated down to try and help him, it was a little too late, and he was already fished out there. So that, splitting up the tanks like that put them in a bad position. Here they come with their last chance to take this point.
Genji Blade is going to get Dragon Blade, is going to go on the back line there, going to take out Zenyatta and Hunter to get fully take out, and that's just taking out.
That's just all she wrote at this point.
All she wrote, basically.
It's a very clean defense here from OPGO Purple. Their old economy was managed very well, and they've just, yeah, absolutely won out every fight in here. They got themselves a nice early advantage, getting a couple of clean counter engages onto the attackers, and from there just used their ultimates well, didn't overcommit their ultimates, and are able to just easily win out each of the remaining pushes. So very crisp, clean play from OPGO Purple. You can tell they're definitely some of the veterans of this particular level of the OCE scene. And they're definitely showing it here today. So now, at this point, it will be on Soundscape Pulse to try and lock out OPGO Purple on this point A and bring this map to a draw, which is certainly got to be feeling like a hard task for them at this point.
Definitely. Against what we just saw from that defense there, it's going to be hard to stack up against. But we'll see how Soundscape Pulse can do it. Hybrid maps are always those ones that just trip up and change the entire game.
Absolutely, and Numbani more so than most as well. As we did mention before the map, that this point is notoriously difficult to attack. So we could definitely be seeing a draw out of here, and certainly that's what Soundscape Pulse are going to be hoping for. But they looks like they're going to be running a very similar composition to what OPGO Purple were running, only they will be running a Mercy Tracer instead of the Ana Zen. Sorry, the Ana Genji, my apologies. And it looks like out of OPGO Purple, as I said, they may still change up, but it looks like they're going to be running a dive with the Genji and Pharah for some long-range poke on top of that. Oh no, we are seeing some changes here already, actually. They are only running one support, so we'll see if we stick with that. No, there we go. So we will be seeing dive tanks with the Genji Pharah, but they will be running an Ana on their attack here as well, along with the Mercy.
Top change over to Zenyatta here.
Oh.
As OPG Purple look to initiate here, to regroup and then initiate together as a solid team. They're going to attempt to come up this right flank here onto Combat Wombat as Eula goes on the PSD. The dive is initiated here, and Tracer will pick up the first kill against Zenyatta from the backline here. Going to sway the fight into Soundscape's favour here, which what they will end up doing by taking out Winston and OPG Purple are going to back up straight away. There's no point winning any more than they need to.
Yeah, very nice play there from Lynx. Just one clipping bugs on the Zenyatta there, and at that point the fight was pretty much scuffed, and they needed to back up and at least try and get the res there. But looks like he's not going to get the opportunity to do that again, as Eevee on D.Va is playing goalkeeper on that.
Winston attempted to initiate the defense fight here as Bread does go on here. Gonna go slowly, gonna get taken out here as Bugs does go down. Bugs, my apologies. Bugs goes down, but it will take it to 4-4 here with D.Va out of mech here, but Homer is gonna go down.
Doing work, and they're committing the tactical advisor here just to clean that up. But very nice plays out of PS4 there on the side of OPGO Purple. They were down early in the fight, but he picks up a triple on his Genji without an ultimate, and gets to the point where Crystal feels the need to commit tactical visor to clean up the tail end of that fight, lets it get out of control. So, very nice play there. Oh, that's an early pick.
Early pick gonna allow OPG Purple to clean up most of their team here as they commit 4 deaths to the thing. D.Va Mech will go out there to try and attempt to clean as much of OPG Purple as they can. With a return D.Va Mech from OPG Purple will not get many, but will zone out. It's the last fight here for...
Yeah, and that's going to be it. That's going to be a clean one. All it takes is one mistake to get the ball rolling. And I think Erla, Primal Raging on the point, it's going to buy some time, but I don't know if they're going to be able to unseat OPGO Purple from this dominant position. But that kill onto PS4 may be what they need to get this going.
Into the iris.
Brett is going to take out Crystal here, which is going to allow some leeway here. Brett gets a double kill onto Erla as they finally go down. Lynx will get Bugs, and Brett will pick up Angel for the 3rd kill against Brett. It's a 3v5 on the point here, allowing the game to go. And as we see, Soundscape Pulse are just continuing to push onto the point, trying to get this defense going for a minute and a half, but it's slowly cleaned up here. We see a Hammond on the point here, trying to hold for as long as possibly he can as the rest of his team comes to get there. He's just going to be spinning around the point. The res comes out for Bread, so that's going to allow Erla to go down there, and that's going to lead to the point there.
It's a heroic effort to keep that point alive from Soundscape Pulse when it did seem very unlikely, but they do have the slightly closer spawn on this one. And but in the end, there was just too many members of OPGO Purple set up on the point there, too hard to get it going, and they will claim victory here on this first map.
Definitely. It was a well fought victory. Overall, just a standard match.
Yeah, so once again, we did say coming into this OPGO Purple, veterans of this scene, so it's not surprising to see them perform really well, but definitely seeing some very promising signs out of Soundscape Pulse as well. So that's going to be it for Numbani, and we will be going over next
To Oasis.
to Oasis. So we'll be going over into Control, and it's going to give us a very different look at these teams as well. So just based on that first map there, who do you think the players are going to be look at? The players will be the ones to look at over here in Control.
Definitely PS4 for OPG Purple there. He basically ran the show along with his supports from Bugs and Homer. PS4 was allowed to clean up most of Soundscape Pulse for a lot of that game. He was left very undefended, if that would be the right word to use, to attack Soundscape Pulse's backline, definitely.
Yeah, PS4 definitely able to slice through Soundscape Pulse there, and definitely getting the openings there. On the side of Soundscape Pulse, though, who is our players to watch based on what we've seen so far?
I've got to say, Crystal. I've got to give it to Chris. Crystal did a very good job there, trying to shut down most of OPG Purple there. Some of the stack-ups against the two DPS players, the two head DPS players, PS4 and Crystal, probably weren't the best, but they were very good choices to counter other players.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely difficult to deal with a Genji as Soldier, short of using the tactical visor. But that's what teammates are for, and definitely providing value in other aspects of the fight.
Definitely.
So we'll be heading into Oasis now, and we will see which map we are going to be starting on here. So it looks like we will be starting on Gardens, which means we can expect to see some Pharahs on this map. We can expect to see generally a lot of dive-based tanks for that high ground control, although it's not uncommon to see other things here as well. And it's going to be interesting to see what we do see out of these teams. So far, it looks like we might be seeing a full dive from OPGO Purple, but there's still plenty of time for that to change. Whereas Soundscape Pulse look like they're leaning more towards a brawl-based comp. That'll definitely be interesting to see if that's how things go out here.
Definitely.
Yeah, no, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say definitely against two different comps here. Oasis Gardens is a very interesting comp. The different teams go, different comps go at it.
So it looks like we are going to be seeing a bit of a variant of the dive from OPGO Purple, because it looks like they're running Moira Lucio to back the dive, but the tanks and DPS are that of the full dive style. On the other side, we do see a ball comp out of Soundscape Pulse, and they'll be running a more standard Tracer Farah, though they are running an Anna here, which is definitely going to be vulnerable to the dive out of OPGO Purple as the fight gets underway here.
PS4, as we see PS4 eyeing up his enemies there. As we see a few things going on. Chris is trying to get the backline here. He's not successful against the Diva flanking his opponents. The control point is objective, but as we see going, Urla trying to do some damage. PS4 will take out Combat Wombat from the back here. From the back, the Earth Shadow goes out from Urla, who does get taken out though. And Sweaty Bacon does pick up Hughes and the DMAC out of Eevee, which will allow for some lower health pools, but it could probably include more DPS there, as OPG Purple just clean up the rest of Soundscape Pulse.
Yeah, so a very fast built Shatter there from Urla, but unfortunately just not getting the value out of it. And OPGO Purple able to just dance around them and take control of the point here.
My ultimate is charging.
As we see OPG Purple setting up, preferring to set up on the high ground. A bit split, as Soundscape Pulse here can attempt to jump straight on the point here. The Tracer Bomb goes out to not much of a prevail there from OPG Purple, as Eevee Homer do take out Lynx, as the Coalescence and Dragonblade come out from the side of OPG Purple. They're double and plus is now ready. They committed a lot of ults there. That fight to be able to get the fight out now. They're just chasing up the stragglers here, and that's going to be fight over.
Yeah, that was quite a lot of ults out of them there. It's actually a bit surprising, especially as how clean their ult rotation was on that Numbani defense. Perhaps a bit of an overcommitment there. It's definitely given an advantage in this next fight over Soundscape Pulse, who will have 5 ultimates online here. Everything but that first Shatter. So it's definitely going to put them in the pilot seat. Early committing of a Valkyrie as they come in to pick this one out.
See, Bread going to attempt to drive on the backline here as he gets caught up by Urla. Urla with the Graviton Surge going to come out, just going to grab Pulse. Pulse as Bread goes into his primal rage there with Lynx taking out Homer, Chris taking out Bread, and Eevee picking up Lynx, so there's no aerial threat from the top. Incar though getting a double kill on Angel and Crystal there, along with you picking up the Combat Wombat kill. And PS4 will clean up Sweaty Bacon. Another nice clean up.
That's a bit tragic there. Sweaty Bacon drops the grab, but only manages to pick up a Primal Raging Bread in there. Not the most valuable of Gravitons to commit, and as a result, yeah, even though the fight started out quite well, it quickly transitioned over, and we're going to have the last fight here now. PS4 pulling out the blade. Here it goes.
Yes, we're going to pick up 2 here with the Blade, Combat Wombat and Crystal effectively here. Hammond all on the board, this is what's left. Sweaty Bacon, all it does get Bread and PS4 though. Not able to take up Bread. Going to be able to take out Bread as Coalescence from Homer does get popped here, and that's going to be able to secure the point for OPG Purple.
So OPGO Purple getting an early lead on this map. It's going to put them up. Basically threatening match point in this series at the moment. It is a 3-map series. One more map win, or one more stage win here, will result in one more map win, which will mean that they have won this series, although we will be playing all 3 maps. 4 map score in this first stage of the tournament. That said, we're going to be going over to City Centre here. And that may mean we see some very different, well, maybe not very different, but some slightly different compositions from the teams. It does look like Soundscape Pulse are going to be favouring more of a dive composition here. Inkard is going to be going over to the Farah rather than the Tracer.
Which is very interesting. Sets here. Tonight we haven't seen Inkard on the Farah here, so we'll see what he does. Some aerial combat coming out here, which will have some nice pressure as OPG Purple do take the high ground here. Fuse getting up the first kill against Crystal there. Now the battle for 5v6 here goes on as Rula and Sodak can both attempt to dive against the top there with no prevail there. Unfortunately, they will miss out there. They're going to attempt to jump on Angel, and PS4 does get Angel here with Evie picking up Combat 1, but that's all to support Dawn. But Urla does take out PS4 with Urla and Lynx both going down respectively to Inkard and Evie. And that's going to be the first cap of the G Purple.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that when Combat Wombat went down at the start of that fight, or rather, sorry, no, when Crystal went down to the start of that fight, taken out by Bugs, I think, and then they engaged after that. That's engaging on a 5v6, so it was very optimistic to think they could swing that one back from there without getting the Mercy res off. But yeah, so I think they were playing a man down the whole time, and that's definitely put them at a strong disadvantage. And really, they'd go to get a very easy fight and build some ults.
Soundscape Pulse though going to come from the back here. They're going to attempt to jump from the parachute. PS4 does get Crystal again as Urla picks out Mew. Following with the tank, Evie on a double kill against Angel and Lynx there. Zinkart does take out Sweaty Basin's mech, allowing PS4 to kill 3 of them. Currently the cap is on for Soundscape Pulse, but it's only as it closes Zenyatta, unfortunately. And Combat Wombat does get cleaned up here, allowing OPG Purple to keep hold.
Oh, and Urla has jumped really deep onto their team here. It's very late stagger. I'm not sure what the plan was there, to be honest.
Neither, unfortunately.
Yeah, so that's, oh, and a late stagger onto Crystal there as well. So this is not a great place to be in if your Soundscape's Pulse. We now need to wait for Crystal to respawn before they can push, which means the seconds are ticking up.
Crystal softer than the creaking as they go for a more direct comp to very counter that Farah as he solves back off to the Tracer.
Oh, but they've already pushed in and their Tracer is not with them. There may be some communication issues going on here. It looks like PS4 is pulling out the blade to clean up the rest of this fight. I don't know if they're going to have time to get back though. They've just thrown away their last push.
Crystal will be able to put overtime in here as he's right there, unless he doesn't get picked up by PS4, which does get missed death.
Yeah, Crystal does get the point, actives, but Combat Wombat having to trans just to get to the point, and they get out very quickly there, yeah.
And that'll be game. Oh, no, actually, my apologies. Angel does go down just there, so does Lynx. The Diva mech does go out, allows Sweaty Bacon to keep on for a little bit longer. But unfortunately, there's no one left on point here. Inkard is going to get res back up here, and Sweaty Bacon will go down. Unfortunately, that'll be all she wrote.
That'll be all she wrote there. Yeah, it's a bit very unfortunate that I don't know what's going on in the comms, obviously, but yeah, for the 5 of them to push in before their Tracers made it to them, definitely set them up to lose that fight. So I think a lot of communication issues on the part of Soundscape's Pulse in general during that city centre map there, and that's basically denied them a lot of chances to have a fight that they might be able to win as they just keep picking 5v6 fights. So that's going to see OPGO Purple up at a 2-0 lead, which means that they are definitely going to, yeah, they've won this match, but we'll be playing for match score, and we'll be going over to Horizon of the Colony in just a minute. Just have some technical issues from the players to be sorted out and through that. So yeah, just definitely some interesting things to be seen. I mean, Soundscape Pulse showed us some solid defenses initially on Numbani, but the coordination they used for those seemed to be a bit lacking there on Oasis. OPGO Purple rather definitely asserting some dominance there.
Oh, definitely. Soundscape Pulse do have some great potential though. To go through in this season. Now, unfortunately, OPG Purple are a very good team. Unlucky to come up against them in the first round.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely definitely a bit rough when you're a newer team to be going up against one of the veterans of this region and of this scene. But unfortunately, that's just the nature of the brackets, and in future weeks, they may find themselves a bit of an easier time, and hopefully they can continue to work on their fundamentals as well, so that we don't see them initiating in like 5 or 6 5. Certainly, that is not the ideal situation to be initiating those fights.
Definitely not.
Yeah, so at the moment it seems like Soundscape Pulse are having a lot of trouble just getting a hold of the OPGO Purple DPS, both in-cart and PS4, proving to be very dangerous opponents, and both of them able to pop off and cause significant damage if left unchecked. So it's not even a matter of being able to focus one. If you put all your attention on one, it just creates the opening for the other to wreak havoc upon your team. So definitely some very strong threats there from OPGO Purple that need to be checked and mitigated coming forwards. But we're moving over to Horizon Lunar Colony now, and this will allow for a bit more methodical gameplay, a bit more patient setups, hopefully, in order to maybe manage to deconstruct OPGO Purple, find some holes, poke some holes in them, find the vulnerabilities, and then win the fight from there. So we'll see if Soundscape Purple are able to recover from this and at least manage to pick up a MAC win here tonight as we move onwards.
Definitely.
So we will be seeing OPGO Purple on the defense initially, and it looks like they will be coming out with a fairly standard for these assault defenses on the first point, and Orisa Diva base defense with the Junkrat Hanzo. So I mean they'll be looking to set up a strong position on the high ground there, and if the point is threatened by a flanker, they've got Diva able to go down and peel and harass them without having to abandon that strong point they set up. They'll be running Anna as well to take advantage of the sightlines that this map can provide. Meanwhile, over on the Soundscape Pulse side, looks like we are setting up for goats. So we are going to be running the triple tank, triple support comp. Lot of tank, lot of meat, lot of very short range heroes just looking to brawl aggressively onto the point. So it's going to come down to their initiation, and if they can find someone to initiate onto, pick that fight, because the OPGO comp basically just wants to sit back at a distance and spam damage into it.
Soundscape Pulse here are going to attempt to go straight underneath the team of OPG Purple. They're going to have a brawl comp on the point here. As Homer is isolated from the team, he will go down here into a 5v6. Very bodes well for the Soundscape Pulse, as PS4 does take Crucible out of mech here. It's going to take away some of the medians, but let them go in cart with the cart combat wombat. As the dragon already comes out for PS4, allowing some zoning ability. As OPG
kills are coming back through on the favour of Soundscape Pulse here.
Definitely, as in-cart does drop on the point.
This is anyone's fight at this point, actually.
Definitely.
Kills slowly coming through, but
through on the point, PS4 and Butte's the main defenders right now, as Butte will get bullied off the point here, and Soundscape Pulse is going to pick up this point quite relatively easy.
Yeah, the cap goes through there, so yeah, I mean, just the early kill there from Soundscape Pulse and their ability to get set up on the point there, and Erla using their shield quite well to just keep the team protected from the spam, just allow them to take the space and lock down that point and make it very uncomfortable for OPGO Purple to push in there. So even though OPGO Purple were winning in terms of kills, they were getting them through, just ultimately the respawn advantage that Soundscape Pulse have on that first point allows them to comfortably reinforce that one.
Oh, is coming out from Angel, and Dragonblade will get sucked up. Graviton Surge will take 4 of the members as Nano Boost does come out here. Massive nano wheel though. Allow for Crystals, Slutty Bacon clean up a couple of players here. At PS4 does swap off to the Hammond. Noted as Eevee's Diva Bomb will take one member out of it. Massive shadow coming out there. It's going to allow for some small zoning as Inkheart's Riptide doesn't get Angel, but Angel does get Eevee out of mech with Link's cleaning up there. Now this is just a case of point of respawn time. Who has a better respawn time here will show. Lynx does take out Eevee as Urla takes out the Bread's Bongo, and Bread will take out Crystal out of mech here. So the Diva mech out of mech, Inkheart will take out Urla, which will sway I believe will sway the match back into OPG Purple's favour as Eevee does take out Lynx there, and Views with the nano, not nano.
There's the retreat.
Not that one.
I think the last, I think OPGO Purple had that fight won a little while prior. I mean, they do have the respawn advantage, and once they were sort of able to be set up on that point, it really was just a matter of time for Soundscape Pulse there. Urla gets a big Earth Shatter during that fight, but the follow-up just isn't there from his team, and unfortunately that means that OPGO Purple are able to stabilize on that point. PS4 going over to the Wrecking Ball just to get out quickly, so they're just quickly flooding bodies back onto that point. We have seen some rather large composition changes from both teams here, as Bread picks up the Reinhardt, but Urla picks up the Winston, so we will be seeing more of a dive coming out from Soundscape as they push in here now.
An unlucky Hammond Ball sticks all the mines at the top there, as Soundscape Pulse are going to be playing here with the Nanoverse coming out on Bread. Gonna go wank, gonna go hammer. Coalescence does come out from the top here, gonna attempt to help Soundscape Pulse do some small zoning abilities. Where they're going to take out PS4 and Views PS4 takes out Crystal with Views and Bread helping to take out Sweaty Bacon as the retreat comes back again for Soundscape Pulse.
Yeah, I think they were just a little too spread out and a little too uncoordinated with that initiation. That said, they do pick up a tick, and they have gotten a late kill onto Eevee here, which might give them an opening, but they are still coming back from spawn themselves, so Eevee likely to be back soon. And the initiation should be just coming in now. And yeah, there's a jump deep onto the Zenyatta.
Urla is going to pop from a range here, where Bread does figure out Lynx here. Going to take him out with his Earth Shatter. As the Hanzo Dragon and PS4's mines will allow OPG Purple to take the point back once again as another retreat for Soundscape Pulse happens.
And they're chasing it, they want to take this fight. But looks like Soundscape are just backing up further. Inkheart getting very low there, but does get topped up, so... Yeah, very organised withdrawal there, actually, from Soundscape Pulse. They saw the ultimates come out, they saw the minefield get set up, and they just decide, no, let's just wait. So I think it's a very good move there, and it's just going to give them a bit of an opportunity to get this one going without having fed a large number of ultimates. Early jump by Urla, though, who's now isolated in a room over there.
No real presence going after him here. Angel, they're gonna attempt to meet up here. Inkheart is gonna jump up here though to probably get attacked with the charge on Eevee that will allow everything. They're gonna jump on Urla here. Urla's gonna be the man. Combat one, but does take out Homer here. Fred's gonna go take out Urla. And now it's gonna be a 5v5 on the point here. Putting back to his neck here.
Oh, and the kills are definitely...
Reaper it's gonna take a double kill from Bread and Views here, who's gonna let the point to rapidly tick up here, as Homer is the last man left, and the point goes down.
That was a very interesting fight to watch. It looked like Urla was stuck isolated, and certainly OPGO Purple repositioned themselves over in order to try and punish that. But as it turned out, it was not so much isolated as 9,000 IQ bait, as we see some of the members of Soundscape Pulse just collapse on the attempt to take out Urla. Urla trades his life for it, but it creates an awful lot of space for especially the Widowmaker, as well as other members of the team, to just clean up some kills in that fight. And then with some ultimates sprinkled on the top, they're able to trade out quite well from there, take control of the point, and see themselves with 2 minutes in the time bank going over to the next phase. The question will be, if OPGO Purple are able to blitz this one through, or if they get stalled out. Definitely an opportunity here for Soundscape Pulse. And so it looks like, as they go to set up their defense, Soundscape Pulse is actually going to be running a Tourbillon-based defense here. Which is not as unreasonable as you may think. If you're mostly someone just familiar with your own ranked games, it's not too uncommon to see a Tourbillon on Horizon A defense in the contenders level. So it's definitely not the throw pick that some people may be assuming it is. It's definitely going. It works very well on this high ground here. And yeah, so we're going to be seeing a very similar composition, stylistically at least, to what we saw from OPGO Purple, except Tourbillon instead of the Junkrat. But the main goals are about the same. They want to set up a bunker here on the high ground and really punish the assault. And it looks like we will be seeing the same triple sword, triple tank goats composition at OPGO Purple. Let's see if they're able to have a successful first push like Soundscape did.
OPGO Purple are going to opt to go around entirely as Lynx does take out Homer there with a nice pick out here. It's going to take this fight to a 5v6. And now OPGO Purple are isolated. They're going to have to jump on the point here in a 5v6 mode here with the attacking above from Soundscape Pulse. They're going to attempt to get Urla here as the in-card does take out Urla again. Bread and PS4 will take out Sweaty Bacon here. But Sweaty Bacon will deem back Eevee though, which will allow some of the deductibility. Bread will take out Lynx and his Tyrant. Homer will take out Crystal. Bread will take out Combat Wombat, and that'll be the point wrapped up for OPGO Purple.
Yeah, it's always rough when you lose your Lucio in a Goats comp early. It's definitely one of the key pieces to keep it working. But Urla dropping down off the high ground early really gave the OPGO Purple Assault a target to focus on. I think if they just stayed up on the high ground and poked at them a bit more, it definitely would have played out better for them. But we do have the push coming here on the second.
Push coming in, Angel is going to be able to DMAC Eevee here as Lynx will get Finkheart. Allows the defense to be swayed as Eevee does forget Angel though. This is a very one sport down for each as the Dragon attempts to zone out. Red does go down for Urla's charge here. As Urla does go down to PS4, but Sweaty Bacon will trade Eevee and Bugs effectively. As the fight still goes on with Homer. Homer is now going to back out here and attempt to get out with his life and trigger a perfect
And actually a really nice shatter coming out from Bread there. Didn't actually get blocked by Urla, but the Zarya bubble onto Urla from Sweaty Bacon allowed Urla to keep standing, and as a result, denied Bread a lot of the value from that. So a really good heads-up play there from Sweaty, saving his run up.
Riptide going to come out from Lynx, going to attempt to look for someone here. He's going to find Bread, as Lynx does get abused before that. He's going to also DMAC Eevee, and Crystal will clean with a nice headshot onto Eevee. As OPGO Purple now are in the retreat again for the second time in a row here.
Yeah, so the defender's advantage here on second point, definitely prominent.
My ultimate is charged.
But at the same time, they are getting enough damage through that they're not committing a huge amount of ultimates to win these fights, so they're winning them quite cheaply, while also denying OPGO Purple a chance to build their own ultimates. So they're setting up a good rotation here. We do see Bread swapping over onto the dive comp here, change from OPGO Purple.
Dive from Bread is a bit of a failure, as Urla does take out PS4 here. Going to take to a 5v6. Crystal will DMAC Eevee, and now Bread is asleep on the top here, which is going to isolate his team. Inkar will take out Combat Wombat though. But Sweaty Bacon and Lynx will clean up Bugs and Eevee respectively, and will put OPGO Purple's push to up.
So yeah, another very successful hold there, and however this time they do at least have to invest a few more ultimates, but they do have some back online. OPGO Purple able to get a lot more done that push, and they built up a number of ultimates of their own. PS4 will be looking to drop this Graviton and get the old Grav Dragon combo going into this next fight. It's going to come down to the initiation, and there it is.
On Surgery is going to get two here. Both attacks are going to go down as Crystal does pick up Bread though. Fortunately beforehand, Dragon Strike from Crystal is going to go down. It's going to take out Eevee, so Eevee is now not allowed to DMAC as Eevee bomb does take out Angel then. Lynx will take out Bugs, and the fight goes on here. Inkar, the 1v2 on the point here is Inkar will get taken out probably, and as he does by Urla's charge there.
Very nicely done by by Crystal and Combat Wombat there, keeping the fight alive. Those late kills absolutely give them a chance to reinforce this point. Because the Grab Dragons does pick up both their tanks, who die very quickly in that one. So, very nice plays from the rest of the team to keep the fight drawn out and allow them a chance to reinforce here.
After and PS4 stops off from Zarya onto the Genji here. Erla will back up into his team and attempt to get Red Transcendence will get popped from Combat Wombat here. I got lessons from Blue the same. A 4-man
it's a big grab, but
grab from Surge here. Lynx cannot get up there, he's gonna have to find somewhere else to go. He will find Bugs though, as he detects that Angel Crystal with PS4 though going down. And all that's left is Bread, a couple members of OPG Purple here, as they're trying to get out of the fight here. It is a 3-on-3, but with less health and less morale, as Crystal does take out Inkart and Homers as well. This is going to be the fight over.
Oh, an Eevee remix there. That's going to be a chance to feed a whole bunch of extra ultimate charge over to the defenders from Soundscape Pulse. Very, very unfortunate play there. That's definitely going to, just help get Lynx his next tire a bit faster. So we will have Crystal having another Dragons and Erla with the Earth Shatter as well coming into this next fight. And so far, it looks like Soundscape Pulse doing very well in this defense. Yeah, I mean, OPGO Purple had about 7 minutes coming into this attack on B, and they're down to only 2 minutes remaining and still don't have a tick. So I think at this point, they may be starting to get a bit worried.
Oh, definitely.
There's an early shatter. Very nice bubble by Bread there, but really denies a lot of the value out of that, but it doesn't seem to matter.
As Lynx and Crystal do take out Bread and PS4, that shatter was very used there. Inkart will get one back, but in the long run it will not matter, as Lynx will get the much better spawn than Inkart's compatriots, and we'll tick this clock down even further. Shimada Brothers going to take out Combat Wombat here. We think I'm getting a second Lynx, and that's going to allow Brad and Eevee to jump straight on this point here. They're going to attempt to take out Sweaty Bacon here as the Crystal ult goes. Dragon Strike goes here. Transcendence will come out along with Inkart's Dragon Strikes here. Transcendence on both sides will come out. Combat Wombat is going to be the last man on the point here. He's going to get taken out quite quickly here. As Junkrat's Lynx Riptide is going to come out here, but it will get denied by Brad and PS4 effectively here. And OPG Purple are now manning a very solid attack here, getting one tick, but potentially two. As as Ola is now on the Hammond here, going to try and attempt to cover here. As he rolls back onto the point, he's going to attempt to tick. That's the second tick going off here. As PS4 will take out Crystal, and Ola is still rolling around on that point there. When the May and the Saw characters will come out here as they can. The grab surge comes out, we'll grab 3 of them. Ola will take out Inkart and Homer, and what's left is PS4 and Eevee. This is pushed down so far. This may potentially be the last attack, depending on how long this goes for. PS4, Bread, and PS4 and Bread are going to keep going. Eevee is now demeched in the back a lot, thanks to Lynx here, as they're going to keep going on here. And this may potentially be the last fight we have here. With 27 seconds left on the clock here, as Soundscape Pulse are manning a very good recovery defense here, as there's 4 members on the point here. Inkart, Bread, and PS4 do pick up 3 players here, which is going to allow some nice recovery here for their team. As it's 1-on-2 here with 7 seconds. We're going to get pushed to overtime. PS4 with the Genji Blade here, going to attempt to do damage. Does take out Lynx, do some more damage here. Does take out Crystal and Angel there. Going out for the taunt, and that's going to be the point.
What a fight. I mean, that was like a...
Score 2-2. Switching sides.
Two minutes and 9 left to go. This will be the last attack here for Soundscape Pulse. OPG Purple here only looking for a draw, I believe. That's how it's sold. Correct me if I'm wrong. This will be the last attack. And we'll see what OPG...
My apologies, I have muted myself.
Nice. Well done.
Last minute or so has not broadcast through, and that explains why Bouncy is talking over me. My mic was not recording. So yes, very nice fight there from OPGO Purple and Soundscape both. Soundscape coming out ahead, managing to get the clock all the way down to 0, thus denying OPGO Purple a chance to have an extra attack here. So at this point, they are fighting for a draw on this third point. Soundscape's Pulse in a very strong position to potentially win this one.
5,
Definitely.
4, 3,
And we are actually
2,
going to be seeing a May-based attack out of Soundscape Pulse. I imagine OPGO Purple expecting another Goats push after the last time. So this could be very different. Erler is very out in front of his team. But there's the May wall, and that's going to give them the space to push in and under.
Get into position.
Time to push under here. Soundscape Pulse is going to roll straight on the point. All they need is that first tick. If they can block off as much as possible here, they're already halfway to winning this fight. They just need to kill PS4 will take out Crystal DS. All it does to take out PS4, one of the main damage dealers over to Purple there will go down. If he does take out Combat Wombat, but Erler with replying the second kill of his fight against Homer, Erler will Earth Shatter easy out. And Eagle now have to back up here. Sweaty Bacon will take out views as the Earth Shatter does come out for Erler, taking out Bread. All that's left is that, and that's going to be cleaned up. That's going to be game.
That's going to be claimed. Very nicely played there from Soundscape Pulse. And a very well-deserved map win there at the end. That defensive fight out of them, that last defensive fight that went for about a minute and a half, they absolutely pulled that one back from the brink. Unfortunately, with the respawns from OPGO Purple coming through, and some very, very dominant play from the OPGO Purple DPS do mean that they're able to get that fight win eventually, but enough time bled off the clock there to deny the overtime, and thus ensure that it's a fairly easy first point, first third cap to take this map win. And so on that, the final score will be Soundscape Pulse 1 to OPGO Purple's 2. So OPGO Purple winning the match, but Soundscape do pick up that all-important map point, which may be what they need in order to progress through to the next round of the tournament. So very nice players from both teams there, and definitely seeing some exciting things with Soundscape Pulse really coming together on that third map.
Definitely. Major improvement over this course.
Just very solid plays from them. Very excited to see what we'll see out of them the rest of the season, especially if they are a newer team. Certainly not one that we're particularly familiar with. It's going to be interesting to see them grow and develop and see what they can do for us and do in further games.
Yeah, I think the standard's been set very high for next week's stream.
Absolutely, at least from the teams. Certainly, I need to not accidentally mute my microphone while I'm trying to commentate. But